Thank you for joining us here on WHAS News at 6:30. I'm Jim Stratman, and as the city continues to search for its next chief of police within LMPD, Louisville's NAACP is now calling into question just how transparent this process is. It comes after Mayor Craig Greenberg's administration announced that it will not be sharing any of the names of current finalists with the public. Connor Steffen shares the NAACP's concerns as they call for the city to reverse its decision and how Mayor Craig Greenberg is responding tonight.
As the city works to select the next police chief, one poised to lead LMPD through a looming consent decree with the DOJ, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg's office has said it won't share the names of the finalists in the search. Louisville's NAACP released a statement Sunday, not only calling on Mayor Craig Greenberg to reverse the decision, but to further conduct public meetings and allow residents a chance to meet and question police chief candidates. General counsel for the mayor's office, David Kaplan, said the decision not to release names ensures, quote, the highest quality pool of candidates for chief of police. Greenberg is also requiring all 7 members of the recently announced interview advisory panel to sign NDAs. The panel, composed of various community and state leaders, will help interview police chief candidates. The Louisville NAACP says the move, quote, fosters even more secrecy. The Greenberg administration says, quote, the community has had ample opportunity to have input in the process. That included a public survey, focus groups, and town halls. Still, Louisville's NAACP believes the administration has fallen short of its promised goals for transparency, saying instead, the mayor's office is, quote, peddling misleading and hollow sound bites. Mayor Greenberg has said he intends to announce the city's next police chief by the end of the month. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS 11, on your side.
One man is dead and another is behind bars after a rollover crash off of Preston Highway. Police say this crash happened around 6 o'clock yesterday evening as a car was attempting to merge onto I-265 from Preston Highway. Now, according to court documents, Jesse Brown was driving onto the 265 ramp at a high rate of speed when he lost control of the car. Brown hit the concrete wall, causing his car to go airborne and eject his passenger. Both Brown and that passenger were transported to the hospital. That passenger later died from his injuries. A toxicology report revealed that Brown's blood alcohol content to be 0.164. That is more than double the legal limit. Brown has been charged with murder, DUI, and reckless driving. And a man is dead after a shooting this morning in the Park Hill neighborhood. Police say just before 9:30 they responded to the shooting on 22nd and Wilson Avenue. When officers arrived, they found the man had been fatally shot. Anyone with information is encouraged to call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. Tomorrow, the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission will meet in Lexington to determine the next steps when it comes to sports betting here in the Commonwealth. The bill signed by Governor Beshear in March will legalize, regulate, and tax sports betting here in Kentucky. Before you're able to place your wagers, the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission must approve the rules that will govern sports betting. The hope is that those regulations will be in place before the start of the NFL season, but do experts think that that's a reasonable goal?
I predict there's an 80% chance that we'll have sports betting at retail locations at Kentucky racetracks by the NFL kickoff. The online portion generally takes longer to launch. There's more back of house technology with the app.
Those we've spoken to believe that the online betting will be available roughly a month after the brick and mortar stores are set up at the tracks around the Commonwealth. We know that some have already started partnering and filing some applications. Keeneland and the Red Mile have an agreement with Caesars Sportsbook, and we've learned that Churchill Downs is going to be partnering with FanDuel. Now, in Indiana, families will no longer be charged for textbook fees this coming school year. The change is thanks to the new budget that was championed by Governor Eric Holcomb. The law provides $160 million for curricular materials. Governor Holcomb pushed hard for this bill from the start of this year's legislative session, even mentioning it as far back as his State of the State address.
Our state's Constitution promises a tuition-free education. Let's cover the full cost of curriculum fees paid for by parents so that folks like Mandy don't have to pay this dreadful bill ever again starting the next school year.
Education advocates say they want more guidance on what counts as curricular materials, which under the bill includes books, computer software, and hardware, plus digital content. They also want more guidance on how much schools will receive to make purchasing decisions. According to a guidance issued by the Indiana Department of Education, schools will receive funding as a lump sum coming up in December. As the deadline looms for UPS and the Teamsters Union to make a deal before a strike, both sides are asking for the other to come back to the negotiating table. Negotiations fell out between the two groups early Wednesday morning. The National UPS Teamsters team unanimously rejected the counteroffer by UPS, but Teamsters General President said on ABC that the Teamsters are still ready to make a deal. One thing they won't let up on is getting part-time employees a livable wage.
But also make certain we reward those part-timers who worked through the pandemic. We lost members as a result of going to work when there were no vaccinations, no protections, and all the while, bottom line of their balance sheet kept growing and growing and growing. We want to be rewarded.
The union represents over 340,000 members, full and part-time workers, and now there's just over 3 weeks left to make a deal by the July 31st deadline.